Good morning. It's Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to do a mixed media art page. And so grab your coffee, come on in, say hi so I can say hi back. Now let me make sure that I am live and I can see everyone's comments. I am also going to make sure that my keyword is going to be working as well. I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. I did get up early. I thought I am off today, and I thought I'd get a head start and, you know, get some crafting in here. So let me put my keyword here. And, whoops. Hi, Mary. Good morning. I'm just making sure my keyword is working. We're going to do something different today. Let's see this. Oops. Need to change one thing. Okay. Now my keyword should be working. And oops. Okay. I need to go back in and add a keyword. 1 second. I want you guys to be able to get all the supplies that I'm going to be using, or at least see what I'm going to be using. So let me shut this one off and turn this one on. Okay, so now we should be good. Okay, so I'm using my mixed media Grown Badger book, and what's nice about this is you can take the page out, work on it, and then you put it back in. So what I have in mind is I want to work on this side so that I can glue these two pages together so that I continue like a book. And I'm going to be using this stencil Blooming Tulips. So we're going to do that. And of course I'm going to use some stamps, all kinds of little gadgets. So I hope you guys have your coffee, because I have my 3rd cup. Okay, now the first thing that I'm going to do is put my background on. And I like using DecoArt Mixed Media acrylic. If you don't have those, you can always use like just regular paint, or you can even use the chalk paste. You just got to water it down just a little bit, because this is kind of like liquidy. And I'm going to use like a palette paper. We use this to put our paint on. So what I'm doing is going to take 2 different blues. I'm going to add some like spots, dots here and there. And I'm going to take my water and I'm going to water this down. I don't want like the spots, so I'm going to just take a brush and flatten out those spots. If you let it sit for a few minutes, it'll, I want it to be like really, really inky. So the more water you put on, the more nice fluff that you're going to get. And always protect your workstation, because the paint is not as easy to come off, okay? So I don't know if you guys can see that. All I have is a blob with 2 blues on it. So I'm going to work on this side here. I'm going to lay this flat and press on it. Now I don't have to get the whole sheet, it can have some white. Now, what I want to do, see how I don't want those spots? 1 second. Like this, these paper are so, I don't know how to explain that. It can go through a lot, like a lot of texture, a lot of like over and over. You can wet it, and so I'm gonna just let that drip. So now I like my page, and it will flatten up when it's dry. Okay, now I'm just gonna wipe some of this water off. I'm gonna throw this up because I'm done with this water puddle. Make sure you have a garbage can beside you. I forgot to grab like a water basin to put my brushes in. So now that it is, see how I like it just like this. So this is going to be part of my background, and we're going to dry this. Actually, I should use my quiet one so that I can talk while I'm doing this. So for YouTube, I added the supplies that I'm going to use in the description. The only thing I didn't put in yet was a Decor affiliated link where you can get a discount on the paint that I'm using. And for Facebook, if you comment Tulips, you're going to get a link of the supplies in a messenger. Now, I really like doing art journal. It has been a while since I've done one. And you can add whatever you want in the background. You can use stamps, stencils, some paste, some more paint. So yeah, you can create this page however you want. Now, for my art journal book, I like to do, so I'm going to make one for this side. So I'm going to glue these 2 pages together once it's done. That way it continues when you flip it. So if I have 2 winters, I'll make 2 winters on the opposite side. So that's how I do my art journal book. Some spots here. So the color that I use for the background, cerulean blue. I'm not sure how you say that one. And this one is primary cayenne. So I use those 2 already. See, here's a different, this one's kind of a greenish blue. Sometimes I will do like a couple sheets, and I really let it dry so that I can chalk, or not chalk, so I can work on it later. So sometimes I like to do a couple pages at a time. Now, we also have our winter sale on our the site. It has been extended if you haven't checked that out yet. And so this is one of our new 2025 collection. It's blooming tulips, and it's got the little word bloom. So we're going to chalk this and then paint the little flowers after that. Hi on YouTube. Now I like to add some brown in the along the edges, so we're going to work on the edges. So that's nice and dry. So I'm going to use some ink. This one is Distress Oxide Ground Espresso. I can also use the vintage, some like different browns, and I always like doing this on something that you can put your sponge brush, which is like this one here, on here, and then so it kind of wipes the heavy ink, and then you just rub on the rest. So I like to do my edges with some brown, and sometimes I use some blue. So I like to go in a circle. So does anybody have plans for this weekend? Plans for tonight? We already went out for supper yesterday, and it was really nice. Okay, so that's one color. This one here was a vintage photo. And then I'll use the darker one. So this gets all that nice edge brown. Do you have plans for Richard's birthday, Mary? I think I did this top side already. Okay, so here's some of the brown. Now I'm going to add a little bit of just a little bit of the, I might add some black. I like black. So I always keep like my my brushes for the same color so that you don't get that all mixed up. So let's add a little bit of black just to age some of the sides a little bit more. And always make sure you get those little tabs too, because they are part of your page. I'm going to get a little bit more on the corner. Okay. Now I have a stamp here. It's just words, okay? So I'm just going to use some of that. Oh, I need the black ink. No, I think I'm done with that one for now. So it does, when you're stamping, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just getting some in the page, and so I kind of squish it up. And of course, get some in the center, not just the sides. Okay, so that's how, so you got words on there. So that's, we're working on the background. Okay, now I also have the Tim Holtz Flourish stencil, and I'm going to use think I'm going to use Prussian blue, make it just a little darker. So I need this back here. Need paper towel. Oops, I just dropped my paper towel. I always mix these, shake them really good before you use it so that it mixes really good. Now I like to use a Stencil Pro brush, and so I add some on, and I'm gonna wipe as much as I can on a paper towel because I'd rather go light in the color than it being a big black blob. So I like to do that, and then I'm going to go in circles. So all I'm doing is trying to add texture in the background, and different, it'll have like a different tone. So see how it's nice and light? It's not dark. So it's always best to go light, and then if you need to add more, then you do. So I also go in circles. Okay, I'm probably going to need some more. I'm going to do some in the center too. Now I'm just going to lift it up. Okay, I think I need just a little darker on that one. Okay, hopefully it didn't move. There's some of the background. Isn't that pretty? I think I need a little one right here. Okay. Now, to clean these, just use some hand sanitizer and your brush. Keep rubbing it very gently. It'll take some of the paint off, okay? Sometimes the blue and the black does stain it, but it still works, okay? Now, I do have this I want to use also, but first I want to place where my stencil so that I can put that in the center, unless, yeah, I think I'm going to do that one first, just so I can get it centered, and then I'll put my stencil on top. So I just want to make sure this is nice and dry. Now, blue background is my favorite color to use when it comes to flowers, because I like the pink on top of it. So I'm going to use, I didn't know if I should use the same, I might use the same color. So this is a cute, I forgot to add this because I only thought of it afterwards. I forgot to add that. It's from Studio R12. I love their stencils, okay? So we're going to do a frame with this. Now, you can also tape this so it doesn't move on you while you're doing that. So I'm just going to grab a little piece here and then one here. Now, just hold on to your stencil. Whoops. Let me see. So that is pretty. So it's not very dark. Okay, and now same thing. Wash this with hand sanitizer, and it'll come clean, okay? So I'm done. I think I'm done with this brush and that one. So I'm just going to put these guys in a baby wipe so that it stays moist till I can wash it. Well, let's have a drink. Okay, so now I want to add a little bit of like metallic or some gold in the background. Well, let me just move the stuff that I've already used. So I have, this is the metallic. I'm going to put a little bit here and there. I have a little brayer that we're going to use too. So let's put a little bit on here. I don't know how much I need. So you just put some on, and then just to say you're touching it. Now I did go over what do you call that? My frame. I didn't really kind of want to go over my frame, but I did, not thinking that let me just try and wipe some off. If I can't, that's okay. I meant to go along the side, but I didn't expect to have a big blob on it. There, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to try a little bit more along the edge here. So that adds a little bit of, it kind of would look like if you're putting the gold sheet on there, foil, gold foil. So, and this here, you just wash it with soap and water and it'll come off. Now I'm going to clean this little area, and we're going to be ready to chalk the stencil and paint on it. So I think, well, for now, I'm not quite done with that. I like using this rubber mat because, whoops, one sec, because I could keep wiping it and it comes clean, especially when I'm doing this stuff. So I'm going to try this. So it's time to get some paint brushes out. And it dries so fast. It dries really fast. Okay, now, because this is paper, I do need to add some surface wax on it because I don't want it to rip my paper, and I don't want the stencil like to completely like get ruined with the paper in the background. So I am going to add a little bit of surface wax on my paper. Now I'm going to use espresso because I find it's going to go really nice with the pink. Now, you know, you don't, sometimes you can also do like mixed media on wood surface. So I had put some music sheet scrapbook in the background, and I designed this little flower, and yeah, you can do mixed media on wood as well. It doesn't have to be paper. Okay, well, that's now if you're new to Chalk Couture, if you comment new, I have little sample packs that I can mail to you if you're interested. You just need to pay for the shipping and not the kit. So you can comment new and I'll send you like a little picture information on it if you're interested. Also, I have a free private crafting group where we share ideas and inspiration, and you get inside information. You can comment hashtag VIP and I'll send you a link to the private group. Okay, I'm going to do that a few times. Now I'm going to get that inside the frame. Make sure that there's no air bubbles and wrinkles. I'm trying to do this real fast. It is kind of a little hard to see where my design is because everything's blue. I think I got everything. Okay, now when you peel this off, just go gently. Okay, now I'm going to see how pretty that is so far. I know you can't really see it, but when I add color to it, you'll see it. Now, because I'm going to take a little longer at this, I'm going to wash my stencil right away, okay? Normally I would leave it in the water, but this might take a little longer and I don't want to leave it in the water too long. So you just wash these with water, and then I'm just going to take a disinfectant wipe. I'm just going to wipe this quickly. Don't ever use a baby wipe to clean your stencils. You're going to just take all that stickiness off. Because you know, our stencils are reusable. So I'm going to just, so you just lay it sticky side up to dry it, or you can dry it with your fuzz cloth and put it back on the backer sheet. See, now it's nice and clean and ready for the next time. Okay, now let me just wipe this. And let's dry that so we can paint. So there's some pretty leaves. For the vase, I might just add a little bit of highlight, like some white just to form it. But this is really, I wanted to make it look like a clear vase. Okay, now I'm going to do green first. So let me just move some of this over here. And I should have taken out my, here's one round. I kind of like the, you know, the little rounds with, it looks like a liner almost. So that way. So this one here, it's a yellow green light, but I may also add a little bit of a darker green just to add 2 color tones to it. Okay, and I'll add. Now, when you do this, make sure you don't go too much on your paste, because you may reactivate the paste and then it'll just be like a blob. So you're kind of doing like a little watercolor. So, you know, seriously, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is a mixed media project, okay? Now, I'm also going to put like a little puddle of water in my little tray. Okay, so I'm doing my leaves first, and I'll start with this green here, and then I'll add my other green. So if you like to color or paint, I mean, anybody could do this. You don't have to be an expert. It's all about having fun and creating, okay? So here's my green. So that's going to be my first color. And also we're going to do the stem. Maybe the darker green. Now there is some flower or stems in the vase. And it's okay if you pass the lines, okay? Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think I got, I think I got all my leaves. So I'm gonna dry that so that I can add darker. Like that blob was kind of big. You just need like a little bit to, you know, to go a long way. Now, because I don't have my little water basin, you know what I'm going to do is take a baby wipe, and I'm just going to wipe some of that green off. Okay, so I'm going to go with the darker green. I'm going to do my stem with this. Add a little bit of green here. Okay, now I'm going to do this green here where it's kind of like a shadow. So I'm going to put these two greens together. So kind of like underneath, because leaves sometimes are folded, so you see different colors. Okay, now I'll put a little bit more over here. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. Once it dries, you'll see it more. I should do a class on it. Yeah, that would be cute, eh? A workshop. I'd love to do workshops. I mean, this is what I did. I started off with was to teach painting. I mean, I did teach it in the schools and in my home. I did that in conventions. So I have been painting for a very long time. What did I figure out? My daughter was 2, so I've been doing this for 28 years. I started in 1997, and I did small things to get the hang of painting. Like I did draw throughout the school year. I took art class in high school, so I loved to draw. So then, yeah, I started painting in 97. Someone taught me how to paint. I still have my painting. It's on the wall right there. It was a white poodle, and white was the hardest paint technique to start painting. I was like, oh my goodness, maybe that's why I'm not crazy about white when it comes to paint. But I still have it, and yeah, I love it. And then, so now I'm going to do my flower, and I'm going to use, I might use primary magenta, because I want it to be, or maybe, one second, quinidone magenta. I'm going to use this one instead. I'm going to try and make it a little watery so it's light in color, and then I'll go back in and make it a little darker. So I'm going to do that instead. I mean, you can do your flowers whatever color that you want. So what I'm going to do is take my baby wipe, take out the dirty water so I can put some clean water in here. And I'm just going to add some puddle in here to make it a little watery. You can make these like the tulips, what color? Yellow. So I am just making this as inky as I can, and then I'll probably go back in to darken some of the flowers, maybe add a little bit of white in here. And also, if I find that I lose some of the lines, I'll go back in with the stencil and just re-chalk some of the brown so that I get my lines back in. So I might just do that so that I can add some color in there. So I think I will do that because I'm going to add some white to my flower too for some highlights. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go like, so because I got wax on here, some of the area of the flower won't pick up the paint because I have the wax on here. So even if it doesn't, but just adds like a little bit of color, see that? That's okay. So it's always good that I did wash my stencil and dried it, put it aside. Hi Denise, how are you? We are making a mixed media page here with a Chalk Couture stencil, and we're just like watercoloring it in, and then yeah, we're gonna re-add the stencil just to add some of my line back in here. So I'm gonna dry that, and we're gonna add a little bit of like highlights on it. For the vase, I'm gonna just add a little bit of white. Again, I want to make it look like a clear glass vase. So this dries super fast because it's not thick paint. Okay. So, and this here, it'll, you know what, you guys? I wanted to do it this side, but I did the wrong side, but that's okay. I wanted it to be this way so that I can glue it on the next page, but that's okay. I'm sure I'm going to do some more. Now, I have a little bit of some tighten. This one's tightened buff. I'm just going to add some highlights to it, okay? Now, you always get that little dried paint on the rim. It's all dried up. Now let me grab a flat brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of water. I'm going to put some on the sides. So I just added the paint like on the corner, and just kind of brush it on the palette, and then you're going to put it on the sides, somewhere where it will separate your petals. So I'm just adding highlights. And then we're going to put the stencil back on, and then, you know what, I think I'm going to use this color for the vase. Sometimes you can go back in and brighten it up just a little bit more. So I don't know if you can see that, but I got a little bit of highlight and it's not perfect. So you're kind of brushing it on. Whoops, that one went on really dark. Because sometimes, like I like to just add it on light, and then you can go back in and make it brighter. So I'm going to do that with my little vase here. So I'm going to go along. And depending how dry your little work area is, you may have to have a little bit more water on your brush. Now, I do want to, because there's like a little line here, I do want to make it like a shadow underneath it. So, you know that nice blue, Prussian blue? I'm going to add that underneath it so that it adds like a little shadow. So I'll just use the same brush. I'll kind of wash off the color that I had on here. So I'm going to make that watery, and I put it like on the corner of the brush. So just rub along that little line and kind of fade it out. See how it's just like a shadow? Now I'm going to do that underneath some of my roses, or tulips, sorry, just to add a little bit of a shadow. So start with rubbing it like underneath leaves, underneath tulips. And a little bit of water, so I want it a little bit of inky. And then for the opposite side, I like to just turn my paper upside down. however you want to make your paper more comfortable, or however you're comfortable with your hand, I should say. And again over here. And then what I'm going to do is add the shadow on the vase, just on the one side, okay? Which will be, I picked the right side. Okay, now let's see here. You can add more if you need to. So there's my shadow. Okay, now I'm going to dry that. And we're gonna re-chalk my pattern just so it adds all the lines a little darker. So I don't need to fuzz it. It's already fuzzed. Now it is easy to align it. Make sure it's really, really dry. Oops. I'm going to try and do it from the bottom. Okay. Do it really quick. You could use black the second time around. Now peel it off really, really slow. Okay. Now let me close this. Okay, so here's, makes it really nice and dark. So now your pattern actually is kind of dimension. Now everything falls into the the background. I love it. Now what I usually like to do to protect my art journal page so that the color doesn't fade out, or it just protects it in case I get another paint on top of it, I like using the Ultra Matte Varnish. So I like to use that. It doesn't, it's not glossy. It doesn't leave streaks. So I like to use that. So I'm just going to make sure this is nice and dry. So you can also add some spatter on here too. See how nice this paper is? You can just roll it and it'll go straight again. So let's add a little bit of that buff color. Let's add a little bit of some speck on top. So I have this. I like using a fan brush when it comes to that, and some water. Whoops. And some water. Really wet this and then just dunk into the paint here, and then just make sure you don't get spattered on your face. A little bit more water. The more water you have, the better the specks goes on. Okay, and like I said, protect your surface. So here's my specs, and I can go with the dark one too. Let me just put a little bit more water. Let's go to that nice dark blue. I don't need a whole lot. Okay, I am done, you guys. So that's my page that I did. So now I'm going to let that dry, and I'll be able to add that to my page, my book. Now to put it back into the, let me dry it and I'll show you guys how to put it back into the little ring for the book. So I have here my little book. So I will find a new spot for it. See, I was going to put it on the opposite page, but it had to be this way, but that's okay. I'm going to put it, I'm just going to put it behind where my other flowers are. See what I mean about, I love the blue background. I love the blue background. So I'm going to just put this one over here, and you just push on those little tabs, and they'll go back inside the little ring. And then there you go. I'll leave it dry like this, like fully dry before I can close my book. So I really hope you guys like this, and you want to see more. Hey, I'm happy to show you guys some more techniques. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great weekend. See you next time.